However, reconnaissance aircraft circling the storm earlier this morning between 9 and 9:30 local time did discover the 74, 75-mile-an-hour sustained winds within the center to officially classify Erin as our Category 1 hurricane, first of the 2025 season. We're going to talk all about Erin and what else we're tracking in the tropics here momentarily, but let's take you outside, take a quick glance at the radar. Fairly quiet. I've been away from the Digital Weather Center for a little bit, and the last couple times I ran the show with you all, it looked like we were already starting to get some thunderstorms out there, but as another area of subtropical high pressure builds in over the southeast United States, we're actually seeing a bit of a drying trend. We're also seeing that ridge lifting towards the north, kind of taking a lot more of our moisture with it. The thunderstorms are going to rebuild here soon enough. You take a look at your infrared satellite, take you in for a bird's eye view, you can see a couple different things I want to highlight for you. Number one, up to our northeast, we have another area of leftover front that's marinating over the Gulf Stream waters just off the southeast coast of the United States. And then to the west there, off the southern coast of Texas, is Invest 98L. Both of those features are actually going to give us a little nudge in the moisture department. We'll have to watch what happens with 98L, not necessarily for Central Florida, but as we all know, Central Texas has not had it easy over the last month or two, all thanks to Tropical Storm Barry's remnants back, I believe, during the month of June or July, which contributed to the catastrophic flooding event they saw not so long ago. We'll zoom you out a little bit, take you in for a closer look on our water vapor shot, and I'll show you full screen just how much moisture we still have rocking around with us. And if you look closely, you'll see that clockwise spin over the Carolinas, Georgia, and then the eastern half of Florida, helping to pump in some of that tropical, subtropical moisture out of the east over the Florida peninsula. So it's only a matter of time, and then you can see now Hurricane Erin towards the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, looking fairly healthy and continuing to grow in size. Now, even though we're off to a bit of a late start in terms of our rainfall, Weather Prediction Center does have us for a marginal risk for some excessive rain as we go through the latter half of today, particularly our northern counties. Going to be watching how much of the thunderstorms really blow up, because we have noticed over the last several days, when those thunderstorms do get to firing, they'll plop down overhead, sit there for a little bit, and those rain rates will pile up a couple inches within an hour or two over a specified time frame. So we'll be watching those very closely. And on top of that, as Lisa mentioned to you all, we're still monitoring the heat, and we're getting back up into those excessive heat criterias. You look, National Weather Service does have us in for a heat advisory throughout the day today. Came valid at 11 o'clock, and it's going to be with us until about 7 p.m. once we can finally get the sun to come down a little bit, start to bring down some of those surface temperatures, which, in fact, let's take you around Central Florida right now. We'll start off on the coast. You can see on the east coast for our coastal counties, Palm Coast coming in at 90, Titusville at 93, Melbourne at 91, and then offshore Bowie 84. Look at that gradient there. That's what creates the sea breeze. Really cool that we have those offshore buoys to kind of show you the difference in temperature from the land to sea. You get those cooler waters relative. I'll use the air quotes there. The cooler waters offshore help to push those sea breeze fronts in, which is what's going to create that thunderstorm ignition later today. Moving on inland, you can see we're already starting to pick up the pace in terms of our daytime heating. Orlando sitting at 90, Lake Wales at 90, Bartow at 93, Apopka at 93, same with Sanford. And we're going to be topping out anywhere between the mid to upper 90s this afternoon. You take a look at your forecast highs, a little bit higher than they have been. I know we were talking good news in terms of rain chances about a week ago today. That's not going to be the song and dance now as we rock into the weekend. You take a look at the heat indexes. We're back into the triple digits plus. And when I say triple digits plus, look at Sanford. 111 feels like temp this afternoon. Leesburg, Orlando, and Kissimmee also coming in at 110. Rain chances are going to be higher the further north you go. We're expecting that sea breeze collision to take place up in our northern counties, but some of us in Central Florida, closer to the Four Corners counties, Lake, Orange, Osceola, Polk, maybe, the western border of Brevard and Volusia could get in on some of the showers and storms later this afternoon. You take a look at our clouds and rain model, not a whole lot out there. Northern counties are where the action is going to remain just because we don't have as much moisture just yet. But remember, because of that clockwise spin off the coast, notice as we go through Saturday and Sunday, those rain chances do bump up a little bit. We're going to see Saturday, Sunday, and into next week, those rain chances kind of climb maybe 10-20%, where more of us will actually realize some of the rain as we get into next work week. We also have the rip current danger. Not going to spend too much time here because this kind of correlates with Erin, but you can see a moderate risk, especially for our East Coast counties. Summer vacation is no longer with us, but we do still have a lot of folks traveling for the summertime here in Central Florida, so just be cautious out there. And now let's go ahead and dive right into tropics. So there's Invest 98L on the left-hand side of your screen. Running at a time over open water. 2-day chances at 20%, 7-day chances at 20%. It does not look like Air Force reconnaissance aircraft discovered a low-level spin, so its chances of actually doing anything before moving into southern Texas are limited. And then we have Hurricane Erin looking pretty good out there as a Category 1 system at this time. It's doing fairly well for itself as well, despite some of the dry air that it's had to do battle with. Let's get you some of the latest information here. Max sustained winds as of 11 o'clock at 75 miles an hour. Central pressure is deepening slowly but surely, but I'll tell you the truth, and I'll even pull myself back on camera. Looking at the satellite imagery of this feature, I have a feeling we're going to be hitting that rapid intensification phase very soon. You can see very good outflow. The system is breathing well. The dry air that I did think dissipated some of our overnight thunderstorms is kind of non-existent at this point. The system's really walling itself off. And when you look at your water vapor satellite, yes, we do have good amounts of dry air still out ahead of it, but the more thunderstorms and more moisture we can keep shelled up around that low-level circulation, the less it's going to have an opportunity to try to knock this thing down some. And I want our friends down there in the Leeward Islands, the U.S. British Virgin Islands, and Puerto Rico to watch this closely. It's a little too close for comfort for what could be something along the lines of a Category 2, rapidly intensifying Category 3, making a close call to your areas. You can see as we track off towards the west-northwest before making that turn, we're only going to find even better conditions for this feature to tap into. Here's your latest forecast track from Hurricane Erin. Still anticipating the turn. We're still going to be dialing that in. Our computer models are very back and forth still. Regardless, we're going to see that classic, what's called windshield wiping effect. For my boxing fans, it's kind of like Mike Tyson's head movement back in the day, back and forth, kind of dodging the straight punches. But it does seem like Central Florida can let off the gas a little bit. We're still going to be seeing some coastal counties. Our wonderful meteorologist, Michelle Morgan, built this graphic kind of showing the steering flow. As a trough builds in over the northeast United States, we're going to cut that broad area of high-pressure ridging that kind of extends west to east across the Atlantic in half, opening up that safe corridor for this system to hopefully slip through without causing any havoc for Bermuda, the east coast of the United States, or anybody in between from there. Finally, in terms of our impacts here in Central Florida, rip currents goes without saying. It's probably going to be a rough day at the beach as we go through next week, and Erin is right up against us on our right-hand side to the east off the coast. Surf conditions are going to go up. If you're an experienced surfer, maybe that's a good thing. Go have some fun out there. And then for small craft, it might be a little choppy out there if you take some of the smaller boats, rafts, or dinghies out off the coastline there on the Atlantic side of things. And then don't look now, we're not done yet. We're not done yet. I've actually been watching the computer models rolling in early this morning, and it does seem like we have two more potential named storm candidates on the immediate horizon. Next couple names would be Fair Non, that's going to be fun to pronounce, and then Gabrielle shortly behind that. You take a look at our latest GFS model here. We haven't gotten the 12Z in yet, but over time, run to run, we've been seeing a good amount of confidence and consistency right there. We got a couple more of those tropical features trying to percolate over the main development region out there in the deep tropics. So we just got to keep our eyes open. Check back with us in News 6 constantly for your recurring tropical updates. We're going to keep it real, keep it straight, keep it accurate for you all out there. And we'll go ahead and wrap up with a look at your 7-day forecast. You can see Saturday and especially Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday of next week. We're finally going to see those rain chances going back up as some of that moisture on the north side of the high pressure works its way back down into our neck of the woods in Central Florida, hopefully bringing down some of the hot temperatures we're going to be seeing today and tomorrow, Lisa.
Well, maybe this is a good weekend to hit the stores, get some bottled water, complete your hurricane kit. We don't have an immediate threat right now, but it's a good reminder to take care of some of that stuff, beat the heat, right? Go inside, take advantage of the AC, and unfortunately prepare for what may be to come down the road. As you know, we're heading into the peak of hurricane season in early August or September, I should
Exactly.
say.
So
Yeah,
now's the
yeah.
time if you haven't dialed in. Oh, exactly. Yeah. I mean, either way, we're already on that upward climb. I was going to bring up the climatology, but we Floridians are seasoned with hurricane seasons, no pun intended. So we can only go
Yeah.
uphill from here. And I think September and both October promise to be fairly sporty out there. So we're going to keep our eyes open for everybody.
Not the news we want to hear, but we need to hear it. Be prepared. That's the best thing you can do right now. David, as always, we appreciate that. Thank you. Well, as I mentioned earlier, we have a lot of news happening today, including an update on a story that we've been covering since the beginning of this year. We are now learning that there are some more arrests in a deadly dog attack that killed an 8-year-old boy in DeLand. We're learning both dog owners. Hodel is now being charged with tampering with evidence. Earlier this week, we reported that Amanda Franco, the dog's other owner, was also charged with a misdemeanor in this case. Now, this is all connected to a deadly dog attack that killed 8-year-old Michael Millett back in January. Both dogs involved in the attack were euthanized earlier this year. All right, now to the story that is making headlines around the world. There is a big summit that is happening today between President Trump and President Vladimir Putin in Anchorage, Alaska. CBS's Willie James Inman is in Anchorage with the latest on this big summit.
After boarding Air Force One on his way to Alaska, President Trump warned of very severe consequences if today's summit with Russian President Vladimir Putin does not go well.
It will be very severe. I'm not doing this for my health.
The president said discussions about territory will come up during the high-stakes face-to-face meeting, but stressed it's Ukraine that will make the final decision.
But I'm not here to negotiate for Ukraine. I'm here to get them at a table.
For Ukraine and other Western allies, the best-case scenario would be for Putin to agree to a ceasefire today, which would pave the way for more detailed talks about ending the war. European leaders quietly worry that Trump will be swayed by Putin. Russia's air assaults on Ukraine have only grown more intense since Trump took office, even as Putin claims to want peace.
From Putin's perspective, he wins just by having the meeting.
CBS News contributor and former U.S. ambassador to Russia, John Sullivan, has taken part in previous negotiations with Putin.
For President Trump, he's got to guard against making concessions to Putin that are going to alienate our European allies and really do political damage to himself here in the United States.
Ahead of the summit, protesters took to the streets of Anchorage and expressed skepticism that the meeting will go well. Willie James Inman, CBS News, Anchorage, Alaska.
Closer to home now in Central Florida, one man is facing charges after police say he shot and killed someone in Sanford overnight. And right now, police believe this was actually stemming from a case of road rage. News 6's Mark Lehman has the latest on this.
I'm News 6's Mark Lehman. We're in Sanford where police made an arrest last night in a case of road rage that ended in a deadly shooting at this apartment complex. Video from the scene last night shows the large response at the View on Lake Monroe Apartments. Several CSI vans responded to the front of the complex where we saw the car and truck involved in all of this. According to Sanford police, the shooting happened around 5:20 in the afternoon. Investigators say there was first some kind of a fight between two drivers down the road on State Road 46 and Mangosteen Avenue. The vehicles ended up at these apartments where the victim was shot and taken to the hospital where that person died. Police identified the suspect as 24-year-old Jaden Harris and arrested him on scene. He faces a charge of second-degree homicide with a firearm and is expected to face a judge this afternoon. Now, even with the arrest, Sanford police this morning are asking anyone with further information to come forward. As for the victim in this, at this point, police have not said if that person is a man or a woman, but they have told us they will release the victim's name once family has been notified. Reporting in Sanford, Mark Lehman, News 6.
Mark, thank you. Dozens of families living in an extended stay hotel in the heart of Orlando's tourist district now face the real prospect of becoming homeless. They've been ordered to leave because of dangerous conditions inside the building. And as News 6's Orlando community correspondent Mike Valente has been reporting, a lot of those people really have no other place to go.
An immediate life safety issue. That is what a City of Orlando spokesperson says triggered a notice to vacate here at the Howard Johnson by Wyndham, leaving tenants uncertain of what their lives will look like come Monday. How are you feeling right now?
Exhausted.
Everybody just found out we had to leave. We're like, what the
The tension in this parking lot was as high as the temperature Thursday. Maria Reyes had reached her boiling point, worried about how a sudden rush to leave will impact her wife, who she says has cancer.
I have to deal with her being sick.
I know.
It's because they don't give a here.
Right behind Maria, we could see a sign taped on a window, a notice from Orlando's code enforcement office. The listed violation reads, life safety system inoperable.
There are some bad conditions, especially in the back.
Black mold everywhere, roaches, rats, palomino bugs.
The roofs are caving in. The ACs are broken.
Last Thursday, Orlando code enforcement officers learned that water service from OUC was turned off due to non-payment by the owners. But a city spokesperson says that while on scene last Friday, the fire department determined that the fire alarms in the building were not functioning properly, creating an immediate life safety issue that required a safety official to remain on site, monitoring for fire hazards.
It's kind of scary knowing that you won't have a place to shelter for the night.
Trinette Nation is with the Coalition for the Homeless.
We do not want any unsheltered individuals or families after this incident.
State records show Roar Orlando owns the hotel. We were unable to find a phone number for the company, but several tenants identified this man as the property manager. When we were there Thursday, we saw him talking to police, city representatives, and to tenants. But he was not as engaging with us.
Ramel, you able to tell us anything about what's happening? Why it was condemned? No? Are you the property manager?
No.
Is your name not?
But they're telling me to tell you to get the news off the property, the owner.
Who's
the
there?
Police, yeah.
Okay.
But I
So you don't work here?
No.
They're saying you're the property manager, no?
No.
Okay.
Despite that insistence, it was not long before he approached us off camera, accompanied by an Orlando police sergeant. The sergeant said the man, on behalf of the owner, was asking us to leave the property. So we did, with just a few more unanswered questions. I'm your Orlando community correspondent, Mike Valenti, News 6.
Your heart certainly goes out to these people, and thankfully they are getting some help from some organizations in our community. And speaking of that, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to be highlighting a local nonprofit who is getting a big boost from another nonprofit that has just started up here in Central Florida. It's called the Goodness Gala. A team of entrepreneurs has come together to host a gala at no cost to the charity so that they can raise money and continue to do the good work that they're doing in our community. We're going to have that for you coming up right after the break. Also, if you are looking for something to do this weekend, meteorologist Michelle Morgan has the 6 things that you may want to check out this weekend. We'll be right back.
Oh my God, we were so excited.
Lisa Rydell could not believe what she was seeing. Out of the blue, a request to enter to win a free gala worth tens of thousands of dollars in goods and services.
I slept thinking about it, ate thinking about it, worked thinking about it.
Her nonprofit,
When you hear the beep, let's get a push.
helps people with paralysis recover. Rydell shared their story and need for new equipment, then waited 2 weeks to hear back.
And then you get that email that comes across again that says, congratulations, next step's the winner of the 2025 Goodness Gala.
And she knows how hard it is to raise money. Rydell founded Next Step Orlando 15 years ago after her teenage daughter was a passenger in a car crash.
So my daughter became a quadriplegic. And I didn't understand. I was like, what do you mean she can't sit up, she can't feed herself, and all these other secondary conditions that they cannot do? And so when you leave inpatient hospital and you come back to Florida, we did traditional therapy, OT and PT, but it's just not enough for a spinal cord injury. I was like, who's going to work her whole body? She was athletic. She was a dancer before this. She's young.
We knew immediately, we're like, okay, we want to help them any way we can.
Sean Hughes founded the Goodness Gala.
My company is Avenue Event Group, and we actually own and operate the Balcony Orlando. So the Balcony Orlando is the venue that's going to be hosting the inaugural Goodness Gala. And we've got a number of different vendors that are committed to helping.
Everything from catering to entertainment and photography, all donated by local businesses, so 100% of the proceeds can benefit the charity.
Really, I was just a frustrated mother who just wanted to help, and it's kind of one of those stories where if you build it, they will come. And they do. They come from all over the country, all over the world, actually, for this facility, because we care here. We want to help them. They can get better. They can recover. We need community support. We need better equipment, newer equipment, because it doesn't last.
Lisa Bell, News 6. And our producer, Penny De La Cruz, is joining us now. I have covered that organization for years now, and even though I did own that story, I get chills every time I hear Lisa Rydell tell her story. And her daughter is Amanda Perla, and she is just incredible. And when you see their clients and the progress that they do make, it's just remarkable. And so I was so excited to be able to share that story. And what a great thing that Sean Hughes has founded with this Goodness Gala in our community to help these organizations.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, especially, we've worked New Six with Next Steps for years and years now, and they have been doing so much good. And to take that one thing off of their plate with fundraising, they can focus so much more on the work that they're doing and helping people really who are told that they could never walk again take those first steps. It's really incredible.
Yeah, we often cover what is now an annual event. It's a red carpet event where some of their clients actually walk down a red carpet with some assistance, but just to show the progress. And it means so much, not just physically, but also mentally for so many of those clients to have a place like that in our community to go and get the help they need. So I hope that it's a big success. That event, the inaugural Goodness Gala, by the way, is September 20th. The theme is Wicked. And so they're encouraging people to dress in green, to dress up, to enjoy it. They are looking for people to sponsor tables, to provide silent auction items, to of course buy tickets and attend the event. I plan to be there again at September 20th. You can head to our website, clickorlando.com, and find a whole lot of other information about that event and how you can get involved. Well, Penny, do you have big plans for the weekend?
Not really. No, just my normal groceries knitting group. Exciting.
That's good. Yes. I love that you're in a knitting group.
It's a lot of fun. I get to hear a lot about how the women in my knitting group's children parent.
What do you make?
Right now, I am working on a sweater for my partner, but I make a lot of clothes. I think it's fun. Do you have any plans for the weekend, Lisa?
My plans always revolve around my kids and their sports. So we have soccer on Sunday. We actually don't have a lot going on Saturday, which is kind of nice.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm going to be participating in a charity poker tournament at the Science Center in conjunction with Monsters in the Morning at 104.1. So that's kind of fun. But yeah, other than that, not a whole lot going on. I tell you what, though, right now it's not sweater weather.
No. The sweaters just take a long time to make, so you can start
So
them
maybe
now.
by January. Okay.
And maybe by January.
If you are looking for something to do this weekend, meteorologist Michelle Morgan has the 6 things that you may want to check out.
I'm meteorologist Michelle Morgan here at the Osceola Heritage Park. Now, the event center, it's empty right now. It will be a different scene on Saturday. The Magic and Mythic Festival, a Renaissance festival, kicks off at 11. It is going to be so much fun, and it'll be indoors. You may even run into this guy. I spoke to the event organizers about what you can expect.
It's a massive indoor Renaissance festival. We have over 200 exhibitors, live entertainment.
Yep, and you're going to have a giant dragon with meet and greets. You'll have fairies that you can have bubble time with. There'll be belly dancers.
Yep, musicians, mermaids.
Delicious food. It is family friendly. You can just be a spectator and have fun.
Another exciting event will take place at Lou Gardens in celebration of National Honeybee Day from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Learn about honeybees from a master beekeeper. Honey and bee-related items will be available for purchase. Pack sunscreen and water for bonsai and botanicals at the Brevard Zoo. Enjoy foliage, fun, and hands-on activities with local experts. Free with zoo admission this weekend from 10 a.m. through 3. Check out the Margarita Festival with over 20 flavors, live music, tequila tastings, street food, and more. It all starts around noon this Saturday. The National Reptile Breeders Expo also will be happening all this weekend at the Ocean Center in Daytona Beach. The event starts at 10 a.m. and it's $20 per person, cash only. Children under 6 get in free. Put on your best costume and join the fun at Geek Fest. Over 60 vendors, live action role playing, and food trucks. This is a free event held at the Ocala Downtown Market from noon to 4 p.m. Do you have a fun event happening next weekend? Let me know. I'm already getting so many fun events sent my way, so keep them coming. You can head over to our new 6 app or clickorlando.com. Just click contact us.
So I think the Renaissance Fair looks like a lot of fun. That dragon did freak me out.
Okay, 3 things caught my eye. The National Honeybee Day.
Beautiful.
Love bees. Bonsai and botanicals. And, of course, Margarita Festival.
20 flavors.
You're
Think of
always
the
gonna get me
variety.
with that one. All right, Penny. Well, thank you for joining us. And thank you to our viewers for joining us on News 6 Extra. We hope you have a fantastic weekend. Of course, you can always get the latest headlines anytime on our website, clickorlando.com. And be sure to join us for our next newscast starting this afternoon at 4.
Bye.